Hello, Roberta. I enjoyed reading your post about blended families. Coming from a Christian perspective, it's really hard to see the breakdown of the family unit in today's society, but it's a reality. Just like the video said, a majority of families are now blended. In the video, Dr. Phil talks about what step-parents' roles are going to be. And it's vital for these new families that are made of two individual families coming together to form this new family structure, this new family unit, to define those roles before even getting married. I think people who are going to get married, who already have children, not only should they do premarital counseling, but family counseling as well. People go into marriages with subconscious expectations. In blended marriages, you have multiple other children involved who have different expectations as well. In structural family therapy, the family structure is defined. What is each person's role in this new family? What does each person expect out of each other? In counseling, these expectations can be brought to light so everyone can be made aware. And throughout counseling, the family subsystems could become visible. The husband and wife, that's a subsystem. The siblings, and then the biological parent with their biological children. So there are a lot of different subsystems and also triangulations being formed in blended families. Usually the most powerful subsystem is the marital one, but in a blended family, it could become the biological one. In structural family therapy, boundaries are discussed. Creating boundaries from the beginning of the new form of this family is vital. The biological parents need to have time for their new spouse without the children, but the parent needs to have time with their children without the spouse. There's a great deal of obligation on the biological parents in the blended family. I think I have been drawn to structural family therapy in a lot of my posts and a lot of the work that we've been doing in this class. I refer to it often. I think everything just is structured, it's in an order, and God created things in a perfect way with a perfect order. We can see that the laws of God are meant to keep us out of trouble. We deal with pain and difficulties as the effects of sin in the world. Even if you live a perfect life, which is impossible, no one has except for Jesus, but other people's actions will affect your life. The Bible does give us details on what the family structure should look like. Exodus 20:12 instructs to honor your father and your mother. Colossians 3:20 instructs children to obey their parents because it is pleasing to the Lord. Genesis 2:24 tells us that a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. These are just a few, but the Bible shares glimpses of what the family unit should look like. Whether people are Christian or not, having something to state what the family stands for, that everybody can come to an agreement on, helps when the family goes through different problems. They can look to what they all know as the family's role, what's the family's values, and they all can say, hey, this isn't matching up with that. It is important to note that throughout the different stages of the family and individuals that things do change. So the family structure is fluid and changes as we do. Coming together before problems arise and address the changes in the family structure is beneficial. It's just continue to communicate with each other, and I think that will be a blessing. But with blended families, having some way of addressing the structure of the family unit in advance, I think would be a blessing. And it's going to be hard either way, but open doors of communication, counseling as a family would be helpful, and give them the most ways of success. So thank you so much for your post, and I look forward to interacting with you again in this class.